Now let's see how we handle faults. Faults are transmissibility barriers, and there's two common types we might run into. Vertical barriers, which are faults, or horizontal barriers, which may be shale breaks. We will look at faults first. If you digitize the faults in with Apprentice, you can import them. But sometimes you need to add them as part of a history matching process. This can be a very tedious and error-prone process with most simulators. With Merlin, it's easy. Here we see the 15 by 16 grid that we're working with. To add a fault, we just point where we want it and click. We can just draw your fault in. You can put them anywhere you want to. You can split them. Also, you may need to handle leaking faults. So let's extend one of these faults by assuming it's leaking. We set the leakage factor and continue drawing. You can see the leakage. Maybe it leaks more as we go on. Now these are faults in layer 1, but we have several layers. Let's go down to layer 2. Now, if we know that the faults are the same in layer 2 as they were in layer 1, we can just duplicate the previous layer. We can modify them if we want to. Now let's copy them into layer 3. But faults tend to go through a reservoir at an angle rather than straight up and down. Maybe by layer 3 the fault has shifted to the south by one grid cell or over part of its length. We'll just move the fault a little bit. Now let's save this. Let's look at the shale barriers. We're looking at the barriers between layer 1 and layer 2. We can put barriers in anywhere we want to, and we can adjust them to be leaking as well. But there's another use for horizontal barriers. When we look at the barriers between layer 2 and layer 3, we see that the faults are in both layers, but they don't line up. If we leave them this way, we are basically allowing leakage where we didn't intend it. We need to seal this off. We can do it very simply, as you can see here. You would be surprised how many simulation experts get caught with this. They put in faults and find that they're not doing anything. But it's often because they did not seal them off when the faults in different layers didn't match up.